let's talk about what's been going on and you all being so concerned, apparently, as to why I'm not posting makeup videos to YouTube anymore. Number one, you need to take a break from your skin in applying makeup because I did, and that's the look of my skin currently. Number two, I got sick when I was getting ready to apply my makeup in the month of May. I got sick and I just started feeling better. Now, do I feel 100% better? No, but do I feel better enough where I can at least apply my skincare products? Yes, by the way, you can go and watch my skincare product application on my platform, Perfumes to Elegance. That is where all of my skincare applications will be until the devil shows up, that is. And then I will respond to the devil there, telling me, oh, gee, they're going to ruin my platform to make it look as though I'm complaining about everything that I do in order to make money. 10 times 5 is what? 10 times 5 is 25. 25 people that pay you. That's not you, the one that is making me complain. I'm going to complain and I am going to put on the makeup. Okay? Secondly, and probably the third and most of all factor is when I watch a lot of your videos on YouTube, I don't hear anyone else's voice in the background. I don't see anyone else's physical essence in the background in order to say, why are they sending people in my home in order to attack me for applying makeup? I don't see it in any of your videos. So, why am I going to be putting on and applying makeup when someone's going to be knocking on my bedroom door in order to say, why are you putting on that shit, anyways? Especially when you're not going anywhere. So, I'm going to wait until it's safe for me to do so because I'm not going to hear it from anyone who's going to come and tell me, why are you putting that shit on your face? You're not gonna do that to me. Unless you see the editing process, it may happen to you all, but y'all edit that shit out. And y'all tell me to leave that shit in because you're gonna say, oh, gee, as the leader of all this, you shouldn't be editing that out and then taking it out and lying to us about exactly what goes on in your house as the leader. Hmm? So you all edit your shit out when it happens, but I'm supposed to keep my shit in because you want to say, oh, we did that. Here's what's going to happen when you all say, we did that. Number one, you ain't going to get jack shit if you hear for the music when you all come up in here in my house and tell me we did that. The music ain't going to flow out your mouth. You got that? The job ain't gonna flow out the flick of your wrist when you come in here in my house in order to tell me, oh, we did that. The job is not gonna come out the flick of your wrist in order to say you run nobody around here. That's where I'm going with Genesis chapter 2. So you're going to have to figure out another way in order to tell me you did that because you ain't going to do it to me because I ain't putting up with it for another 10 years. No. I did that already. I learned about it. I studied it. Now I watch for it. And the watching part is not letting it happen part to me because I am not that disturbed about it. I am not that bothered by reporting it. It doesn't attack me to report it. Because you see, every report I have made, they are not here. I have never run from making the report in my own bedroom. The point of having your own bedroom is to stay in your own bedroom because you were there before you came in, which I did that stuff in order to tell me I need to come out my own bedroom. You got that? Let's get into it. That's just a little forewarning. You come in here, I'm not going to follow you out, okay? Because I was never meant to follow. That's why I was given the title of leader, okay? I'm not going to follow you in the hell where you ran from in order to come and tell me to follow you back in that hell. It ain't going to go that way. It ain't gonna go that way. We don't roll this way. If you're supposed to go in that hell, you go in that hell. Have fun, enjoy that hell. But for me, it ain't gonna be so. And I'm used to the additives of the complaints because I'm not just beginning this, okay? I'm an expert in the additives of the complaint. Talk about it in order to let people know that you know about it. Because if you're running from the book bank of the CN Tower where the binder is, then you know you're running from the truth. And you're running into the devil's spit, trying to attack me in the devil's spit in order to say you didn't get to see the CN Tower and the book bank. Let me show you the book bank because I also have a copy here too. This is Genesis chapter 2, and this is Genesis chapter 2 in handwriting that I am opening up in print. But let me show you the other half of Genesis chapter 2 in print, which is at the CN Tower, where the devil is running from trying to tell me, oh, gee, I'm going to ruin your makeup platform because they're not applying it in order for the devil to come and tell me they didn't see the Genesis chapter 2 application to say I already know about the bullshit. Let me show you where he at, John. He right in the devil's pit and he not there where he said he's supposed to be. Let me show you Genesis chapter 2 just a little bit. So, if you're gonna come here, you're gonna see it not only from me, but you're gonna go see it over there at the CN Tower. So you might as well just go over to the CN Tower and talk about it over there. Genesis chapter 2 is temporarily being held in this binder because every time I go to get a white binder, they're always all sold out. All right, so Genesis chapter 2. Here is my calendar. The first thing in Genesis chapter 2. This is my calendar. And this is who I'm applying my makeup as well as my skincare. Rihanna, Rihanna. This week, no application. So, 2 weeks of no makeup application. June 15th all the way to June 21st, no application. Okay? June 22nd all the way to June 28th, no application. But, but, and however, from June 4th, or what date is this? June 4th, June 4th. Let me just pull the whole thing out, even though it's difficult for it to go in. June 4th, application begins June 8th. June 8th, which June 8th is on Sunday, but there is an application today for June 6th. There's an application for June 7th, and the rest of the week is an application for skincare all the way from June 8th all the way to June 14th. The next 2 weeks I have off, no application. I have an application process on June 29th and on June 30th. So those are my time frame. If you're at the CN Tower right now and you're seeing this schedule, I printed this from my personal laptop at the public library this morning. This is my time frame and my schedule for when I am filming and when I am uploading. And don't be attested that I have no shame in telling people what you're saying to me while I'm applying my face, okay? I have no shame in doing that. As a matter of fact, right after this, John Terry is going to be playing several videos while you wait to get picked up as to the information and additive factors as to what I do while I am applying the makeup about what they said. Because that's where the platform started for me. It was called way back then in 2021 to 2023 what they said before it became questions answered. Just letting you know that. All right? And this is my application schedule for July. This is my application schedule for July. Okay? Very busy, very busy. I don't have no days off in July except for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and the 5th of July. And then this is my application days for the month of June. Not June, August. The month of August. Okay? So if you're looking at that at the CN Tower, congratulations, you stubbed your own toe. I'm just saying. You stubbed your own toe because I already have a copy of it and I know what I'm doing and when. And I also know how to iterate what's been said, what's being said, and what's being done. I know how to iterate all of it. I also know how to iterate the fielders who's been paid in order to say, go in the bedroom and tell her to stop talking. Iterate, post it up. I know how to do that. The word and the term is called iteration. Post it up because there's someone who is going to edit that on my behalf. So I'll post up the original as it is, anyways, in order to show you that I don't hide anything. But y'all do because y'all lie behind that mask as to who you are and what you do. Okay? Anyways, let's continue with Genesis chapter 2. This portion here. This stuff has already happened. So I have that information, okay? We will be reading on it very, very, very soon. I'm just literally waiting for the month of June to end, number one, because Will Clay Public School is still in session. And so not only am I waiting for the month of June to end for that, I'm also waiting for the time frame of 4:30 p.m. in order to begin to teach the lessons on Genesis chapter 1 that has already happened. Now, this is my perspective. Okay, let's explain the difference between the two. This is what actually happened with the legal documents. This is my perspective on what I've heard and what has been said, and does it match with the legal documents? Okay, so legal documents, facts, and information. This is my perspective and what I heard and what I know, what I've seen, and what I've been told is either going to happen or has already commonly happened. And they're just going to test me to see if I can go through it because they did it to someone else. All right? Stay tuned for part two.